Hey, it's your friend Choice CJ here, and this is our team builder for week 3 of the UBC, the United Battle Championship. We are the Baltimore Orioles, and this time around we are taking on Adam, aka the Bee's Knees, and this is the this is not the first time I'm saying this in the past couple of days. We did battle last week in the PMC in the final round of the regular season. And funnily enough, we are now going to be battling both in the UBC and also in round 1 of the playoffs for PMC D-League. But this video will be going up before the PMC videos, so we'll see how it goes. If you guys did not see our battle last week, I recommend you check it out. These games are going to be pretty important for obvious reasons. We'll go into his team in just a second, but I just want to say I apologize for the lack of uploads this week. Just been busy, not really with anything too intense, like with work-related stuff or real-life stuff. I've just been enjoying myself playing different games besides Pokemon. I'm still having a lot of fun playing these competitive battles, but I picked up a bunch of games in the Steam Summer Sale, and I'm having a good time testing them out. So don't worry, I'm not, I haven't forgotten about Pokemon or anything. I'm just, choosing to divide my time between both Pokemon leagues and competitive play and those other fun games. So I doubt you guys are all too worried, to be honest, but I'll just act like you were, and we'll move on from there. So now let's go over our opponent's team. He has a Manaphy, Skarmory, Mega Ampharos, Entei, Tangrowth, Crocodile, Scolipede, Aromatisse, Cofagrigus, Mesprit, and Primeape. So Adam, this Verd, for some reason, thinks that this team is not all that great. I think this is the toughest team that we've had to face from Adam, and we've fought him now in 3 different leagues. The Manaphy, Skarmory, Mega Ampharos core is very powerful. They just cover each other very, very well between all their different weaknesses. He's got a lot of power between like the Entei and the Ampharos, and obviously the ability of a Tailglow Manaphy to just set up all over you. He's got a good Moxie user in Crocodile that can sweep. You have Scolipede, which is a very good sweeper. Then he's got just this really amazing like bulk on his team. Cofagrigus, Mesprit, Aromatisse are all really hard to deal with. Tangrowth is awesome. Manaphy and is a bulky Pokemon if you run it with the right spread, and obviously Skarmory is probably the best defensive Pokemon out there. I didn't mention Primeape, but the funny thing about his team is that because he's got so many good stacking options, he can abuse the Defiant ability on the Primeape if he chooses. I'm not bringing in Defog this week, so it's not going to make a big difference. So this is just a really great team, and the reason it's additionally tough is that he's got like 5 answers for my Mega Lopunny. Like Skarmory, physically defensive Tangrowth, physically defensive Aromatisse, physically defensive Mesprit, and physically defensive Cofagrigus all wall Lopunny really well. And so, as you can see, I've left it at home this week. I wanted to bring it with some sort of like lure set with like Toxic and stuff like that to hit the Tangrowth and the Mesprit and other things on switch-in, but it still didn't hit the Skarmory. And most likely he's going to bring like the Cofagrigus and the Skarmory to deal with it. He's not going to bring, obviously, all 5 of those Mons. But it's just, when we thought about it, I decided the best thing to do would be to leave it at home. And we do have another team of 6 that's down here. I'll be honest, this matchup is just so hard. It's even worse than our PMC matchup that you guys saw from last week, and you'll guys see again tomorrow. But we have a team that it's the best team that we have to potentially deal with him. And we're gonna do the best we can. It's a little bit light on offense, I think, which kind of worries me because he still has some really bulky Mons, but we'll see. So we're going to start off with our Wimowe, the Hippowdon, with Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Stone Edge, Slack Off. Pretty normal set. I'm still not 100% sold on Stone Edge. I think Fire Fang might be better, because what does Stone Edge hit? Stone Edge doesn't actually hit anything that's really important. Yeah, it really doesn't. So let's put Fire Fang on here, because he doesn't have like a flying type other than Skarmory on his team. And yeah, that's the better move by far, now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, so this thing is just a really good wall against his team. Just because of Powdon, it's kind of like Skarmory. It's just a really great wall for everything. You run it with enough special defense investment, it can wall some stuff like that too. We have put a heavy amount of special defense investment into this, so that way we can take 2 Dragon Pulses from a Mega Ampharos. But we still do not get 2-hit KO'd by an Aqua Tail or a Mega Horn from Scolipede, or an Earthquake or an Aqua Tail from Choice Scarf Crocodile, assuming it's unboosted. We put a Lumberry on this thing because Entei is obviously a huge threat to my team. And if he goes for Sacred Fire against the burn, we can heal it off with a Lumberry and then go for an Earthquake. Earthquake after Stealth Rocks has a really good chance to kill the Entei. And not that he's necessarily going to stay in anyway, but, you know, I'm just something that I'm worried about. So yeah, the main priority here is setting up rocks as soon as possible because he does not have great removal, he just has Skarmory. And it does hit a lot of the things on his team for good damage. So do that and then just wall everything. It's pretty much what it's going to be. Up next, we have Zapdos with Volt Switch, Hidden Power Ice, Roost, and Toxic. Zap Plate as the items, full special attack investment, full speed investment. I could put maybe a little bit of special defense on this thing, but I don't, you know, I'm not sure that I see the reason why. This is just my only answer for Skarmory on my team, to be honest. I just don't have anything else to hit it super duper hard. And, you know, I really wish I could be packed in a T-Bolt, but the Toxic's also hugely important because things like Tangrowth, things like Crocodile are going to be a switch into this thing, and I want to start to wear those things down. Sure, I could use Hidden Power Ice, but if it's like an Assault Vest Tangrowth or an Assault Vest Crocodile, I'd rather have the Toxic off on it. And Roost is obviously there for the longevity. And yeah, I went with Volt Switch over Thunderbolt because it's tough. I really want Thunderbolt, but I want the momentum. The momentum is going to be so good because then I can go into, you know, whatever corresponding wall that I need. Next up, we have a Choice Scarf Sneasel, our good old buddy Gale Thunder. He's rocking those beautiful pink locks. If you're familiar with the 7 Deadly Sins, he's got Knockoff, Icicle Crash, Poison Jab, and Sleep Talk. Sleep Talk is kind of just filler. I'm not really worried. I don't really expect to click it, I guess is what I'm trying to say, but like I said, it's kind of just filler. If there's like a really obvious Sleep Powder scenario, but I don't know. But I wanted Scarf on this thing to outspeed a Scarf Crocodile and also a Scolipede that is at +1. If it's taken rocks damage, we can do some good damage to it with a knockoff potentially. And yeah, that's really what this is going to be doing. It doesn't outspeed a whole, like, I mean, it outspeeds everything on his team. This is easily the fastest thing on either team, besides a +2 Scolipede. But yeah, I just wanted to be able to have that. I could run Life Orb, but I like this. I think this is going to be fun. Next up, we have Leonardo with Scald, Rapid Spin, Mirror Coat, and Refresh. Mirror Coat's on here. I don't know. I was running Rindo Berry on this thing earlier, so we could take a +3 Energy Ball from a Manaphy. But I decided I wanted Leftovers instead because I still need this thing to kind of take on Entei as well, and I didn't want it to have no recovery. So we'll see. I put enough special defense EVs into here to live a Thunderbolt from a Ampharos and then put the rest into defense. I might just make it full Spadaf and see what we can do from there. If I do that, I'll let you guys know before the match. And then Scald and Rapid Spin I think are pretty normal moves that you could expect from Blastoise. I need Rapid Spin this week because he does have so many abilities to set up hazards. He's got 2 Toxic Spike setters and 2 Spike setters. And then Refresh is the last move because we can heal off a burn from an Entei or heal up a Toxic Spikes or a Poison, you know, after we've gone for our spin. And yeah, I do really like this set. I'm not exactly sure on the spread, but I think this is the right combination of moves for this week. Next up, we have another Trick Room Reuniclus, Trick Room Psychic, Signal Beam, and Thunder. We put enough defense EVs into this thing so that a knockoff from a, what do you call it? a knockoff from a Crocodile does not kill, assuming it's Jolly and Choice Scarf. If he's Adamant or Life Orb or something like that, then no, we're not going to live. But I don't want to switch up the EVs too much. Psychic for a good stab. Signal Beam because it hits things like Tangrowth pretty hard, and it also hits the Crocodile. And Thunder for the Manaphy and the Skarmory. Both of those things die after rocks to Thunder. Just going to have to try and hit. I could run Focus Blast over Signal Beam, and we could just go full-on Haxlord here and hope for none of the misses and that we hit all of these inaccurate moves. I might do that as well. It's just tough. Because that's the best way Radiant has to hit some of these Pokemon. But I just don't want to run the inaccurate moves if I can help it. Thunder, I think, is necessary. I really do think it is. I don't want to run something like Shadow Ball. It just doesn't do anything versus most of his team. Like, sure, it hits Cofagrigus, but it doesn't even hit it all that much harder than Psychic does. But yeah, this is another good late, this is really the only late game win condition that we have. It might end up working out similarly to our experience in Week 1. So we'll see how that goes. And then last but not least, we have a Assault Vest Disco Biscuit with Giga Drain, Clear Smog, Sludge Bomb, and Hidden Power Fire. This is going to be my best answer to a lot of his Pokemon, actually. Manaphy does like 50 to 60% with a +3 Ice Beam or Psychic. And then we can follow up with a Clear Smog, follow up with it, and then follow that up with a Giga Drain or switch out as we feel is appropriate. Takes on Ampharos with no problem at all. It doesn't do a lot of damage back to it, sure, but this thing is just so bulky that I'm excited to see what it can do. It doesn't really care about what Tangrowth can do. It doesn't care about Aromatisse. It doesn't even care about like Cofagrigus. Like, yeah, the burn would stink, but it can't hurt us with Shadow Ball or anything like that. The worst thing that would happen against a Cofagrigus is a knockoff, and I will have to be mindful of that for sure. And then what's the other thing on his team? Primeape. Yeah, Primeape does not really hurt this thing very much. So yeah, that's our Moongus. It's just going to be annoying, and I know he's going to be fearing the Spore. He's going to be running one Pokemon with safety goggles on his team because that's a good thing to do. And we're just not going to pack it because I'd rather have that extra special defense in order to not care about what Manaphy does to us. So guys, that is the team. Like I said, if I do end up making any last-minute changes to this, I will let you guys know. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough matchup. It's so funny, and I'll mention this in my team builder tomorrow as well for the PMC. But I made that hype fit, and it was really fun, and everybody had a good time with it. But I also made it because I know Adam's a really great battler, and he knows this. And there's a really good chance that he takes 2 wins from us this weekend. But we're going to give it our best shots, and it's still early in the UBC season, so if in the unfortunate scenario that we do lose, we have a lot of time to make up the ground, and we'll have some better matchups throughout the season. So anyway, I do want to thank you guys for watching. The battle for this is going to be going up tomorrow, probably around 10 AM Eastern Time, and also be sure to check back to my channel for other Pokemon content, and until the next time, I will see you guys later.